Welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, How AI is Reshaping Hiring, What Professionals Need to Know in 2026. If your resume hasn't been read by a human yet, it may never be. And that's not a prediction. That's the operating reality for most large employers in 2026.
Correct. The majority of Fortune 500 companies now run candidates through AI screening layers before any recruiter sees a name. Systems like Workday's AI recruiting suite, HireVue, and Paradox's Olivia chatbot are making first-pass decisions on fit, communication style, and even inferred cultural alignment. The human reviewer often enters the process at round 2, if at all.
So what are these systems actually scoring candidates on? And how transparent are employers being about that?
Transparency is still poor. Most systems score on keyword proximity to job descriptions, career trajectory patterns, and increasingly, behavioral signals from asynchronous video interviews. HireVue, for instance, has publicly stepped back from facial analysis after regulatory pressure, but sentiment analysis of speech patterns is still live in several of their enterprise deployments. Candidates rarely know the criteria. That's a real governance problem.
You mentioned keyword proximity. Is this still fundamentally a resume optimization game, or has it evolved?
It's evolved significantly. The smarter ATS platforms in 2026 are using semantic matching, not just keyword matching, so cramming in buzzwords doesn't work the way it did in 2022. What matters now is whether your career narrative is coherent and whether your described experience maps logically onto the role's requirements. Greenhouse and Lever have both moved in this direction. That said, formatting still matters. A resume with complex tables or graphics often fails parsing entirely.
On the candidate side, generative AI is obviously being used to write resumes and cover letters. Are employers detecting that? And do they care?
Detection is unreliable. Tools like GPT-0 have accuracy problems, and most legal teams have advised against using them as disqualifiers. What employers are doing instead is front-loading the process with work samples, skills assessments, or short recorded responses precisely because they can't trust documents anymore. PwC and Unilever both expanded their assessment-first hiring models this year, partly for this reason. The arms race is real, but the response isn't detection, it's verification.
For a senior leader who's also managing a team that hires, what's the one thing they need to do differently right now?
Audit your hiring stack. Seriously, many executives have no idea what their talent acquisition team is actually running. Find out which AI tools are making pre-screening decisions, what data they're trained on, and whether those tools have been audited for bias. The EU AI Act's hiring provisions are now enforceable, and the US EEOC has been actively investigating algorithmic discrimination cases through 2025 and into this year. The liability is real. If you don't know what your system is doing, you're exposed, legally and reputationally.
Know your stack before it knows your candidates. That's the takeaway. To go further, Leaders Insights offers strategic training programs, diagnostic tools, and an executive self-assessment designed for CMOs, CDOs, CFOs, and leaders aiming for board-level performance. Explore everything at mba-training.com. Thank you for listening to the Leaders Insights podcast. See you tomorrow for another episode.